than a profession. I think it's your identity more than anything.
Yes, it's your life. It's your life, and it's a wonderful life.
It is.
As far as I can remember, we knew vultures ever since we were on the farm. They were just part of the life.
When I think about the Karoo, I think about my home. I think about the place that I grew up with, its steep cliffs, huge mountains, and the community I was raised around. Years ago, there used to be Cape vultures in our area, but since they've disappeared. Not for long. The Karoo Vulture Safe Zone works with landowners to encourage Cape vultures back into our area through establishing Vulture Safe Zones. My name is Danielle Dutoy. I'm a farmer's daughter from the Karoo Conservancy, and I've spent the last 2 years spending time with the landowners in our Great Karoo, ranging from Cradock to Beaufort West. Many of these people have shared stories with me about their experiences with Cape vultures, and today I chose to share them with you. I hope you enjoy them as much as I did.
Names that relate to Asvoel, There's
Yeah.
Asvoel Kop, which is just up the road here. There's Asvoel Krans, which is just around the corner. That must tell you something.
Yes, of course.
And I can recall very vividly. It was. I was probably in about my late school years, mid 60s, 64, 65, somewhere. I can remember there used to be these guys that came around and smoked their stuff, travellers. And he hit one of these vultures, and he injured it, and he put it to the back of his car and he brought it down here. I can remember filming it when they outstretched their wings. It was so impressive. You cannot blame people for what they did in the past. Hindsight is the perfect sight.
Yes.
It was a great shame that we lost these vultures, because they were scavengers and they cleaned up the countryside.
Yes, of course.
So to have them back again, and I know you people are making going to a lot of trouble to try and reintroduce them, which I think is a magnificent, and you have to be admired for it. And I would like to emphasize that everybody must make it their business to find out what is going to be expected of them, to try and attract them back into the area.
Yes.
Because they belong here.
They do.
And they need to come back.
Holidays with each other, not long holidays, but normally the 10 days. So I think this was about 1957. I was at school in Cape Town. It must have been 55 or 56, the September holidays. I spent the holiday there. And the one day, we all knew we all knew from the staff working there, that there were a lot of vulture nests on the mountains. And they were nesting on the eastern side of those mountains.
Yes.
The sunny side. So we went up there from the farmhouse. I can't remember how many miles. When you're a kid, everything looks very far. Went up there with the horses, and we looked at all the vultures in the nest, and they all had big chicks. I'm sure it must have been the September holidays, but lots.
Almost every nest.
Yeah, every nest, and they used to soar around there, and we looked down.
How do you feel if the vultures came back? What would it mean?
It would be wonderful.
Vultures.
Yes.
There was another time that in one of the lands at Plymouth, where we had used lambing, a vulture arrived there and it had a broken wing. And I caught it. They are quite aggressive if you catch them,
Just watch out for that beak.
And I took it to the Bloom house, and we had a little cage that we used to keep jackals and things if we caught them in. And I put it in there, and about 2 or 3 months later, its wing had healed, and I let it out and it flew away. But where it went, I don't know, but it flew away.
Good morning. It's Jeff Kroon, Paardekraal, Kamdapur Conservancy. I'm just reflecting on the efforts to reintroduce vultures to the central Karoo region. I finished school in 1976, and I can remember in those days lying on the cricket pitch when we weren't being thrown with bunches of keys, but I can remember lying on the cricket pitch looking up and seeing vultures flying over the school fields in Croftrenet. When I bought Paardekraal 21 years ago, 23 years ago. It actually had been my then strong desire to try and reintroduce the vultures, but lack of momentum, and I never got to it. So I'm actually quite excited by the effort that's being put into doing this now, and there are quite a few factors that are perhaps favorable towards the hoping to get some vultures back again. We've worked hard to keep our areas wild, and the cliffs are waiting. So I really hope that some vultures do fly past and decide this is it, they're going to settle again. And I know that the EWT and Danielle have been doing a lot of work to try and educate people and try and prepare the ground. I think it'll be amazing if we can reintroduce those big birds into this fragile environment.
These animals, these beautiful birds, existed when my grandfather was on the property and since have disappeared. So I was really intrigued to be able to have seen Cape vultures and bearded vultures floating out here in their natural habitat. It was so thrilling and so exciting for me. So when I was approached by the Vulture Safe Zone to create a safe zone in this area, I was very excited to be a part of the team. It is such a thrilling experience to be able to see one of these magnificent animals in their natural habitat. See them soaring over this beautiful Karoo where they once flourished. And if I can be a part of getting them to be back here where they belong, as a conservationist, as someone that really loves the land, that would be something that I'd really like to help to contribute towards. So as a landowner, I really support the conservation of these animals and the safe zone that I can create over here for them, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
It was part of the scene where we had no negative feelings. I was at one point in approximately 1964. I was on the farm. There was quite high in the mountains, and I saw vultures were coming, and were in the air. I lay down and I tried to look like I was dead, and they came closer and closer and closer till eventually just above my face, more or less, I could hear the sound of the wings. Lappertail-faced vulture and a couple of other Cape vultures, until I must have made some sort of movement. They then took off, and I didn't see them again for quite a while.
Special thanks goes to Doug Stern, Flippy Luch, Jeff Crane, David Davenport, David Kingwall, and all the other landowners who worked tirelessly to welcome our vultures home again, as well as those who may be gone, but helped pave the way. You are true custodians of our home, and we dedicate this video to you.